don't delay. Political news and the community updates on the morning takeover. Stream live, stay awake. Like and subscribe. He got the content all the time. Share with your crew. Live on YouTube, don't be shy. He's got the facts straight, never leads you wrong. James Mack, breaking news before the final gong. From city lights to the small towns beat, bringing stories real and raw. No defeat on the morning takeover. It's your daily fix. Tune in or you'll miss the ever-rolling mix. From the Capitol Hill to your neighborhood block, James Mack on the airwaves, always on the clock. He's the man on the street with every beat, delivering the truth, making your morning complete. Got interviews inside from coast to coast, a voice you can trust, he'll never boast. James Mack on the wave, every morning, every day. Got the 92.7, tune in, don't delay. Political news and the community updates on the morning takeover. Stream live, stay awake. Like and subscribe. He got the content all the time. Share with your crew. Live on YouTube, don't be shy. He's got the facts straight, never leads you wrong. James Mack, breaking news before the final gong. From city lights to the small towns beat, bringing stories real and raw. No defeat on the morning takeover. It's your daily fix. Tune in or you'll miss the ever-rolling mix. From the Capitol Hill to your neighborhood block, James Mack on the airwaves, always on the clock. He's the man on the street with every beat, delivering the truth, making your
And good morning to everyone. Good Friday morning. WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the morning takeover with your man on the street, James Mack. And we made it to the weekend. And I am just so happy that we did and that we're here. Been an exciting week in the news and exciting week all the way around. I hope that you have enjoyed and had a wonderful work week as you're getting ready to wind it down. I'd like to say good morning to our streaming YouTube channel. Everybody that's there, I'd like to say good morning to a lot of people. I can't say good morning to everybody, but good morning to everybody, but there's some people in particular that I'd like to say good morning to and give a shout out or two. Some people have had some birthdays in this new week of August. It's August 2nd, and we're in the brand new month. There's a lot that's going to be occurring in the current weeks that to come, and we're just looking forward to everything. But before we go any further, let's look at the weather and look and see what's happening. It is still in the Mid-South and in this region. Mid-South region, the Memphis, Shelby County, Mississippi, North Mississippi area. It is hot. It is still summertime, folks. People in some school districts in some places are going to school, and we like to just say hey to the kiddies. I know they probably can't hear me, but to the parents, I know they're shouting and rejoicing and saying hey and all those other things. They're getting the chance to meet their new teachers and friends, and it's just good. But let's look at the weather right quick here in this region. Did you notice that we had a hazy look outside today? It looks a little hazy and it looks a little bit. You kind of like a dusty feel in the air. That was thanks to the Saharan dust that moved into the mid south all the way from Africa. Can you imagine? It's a dust storm coming all the way in from Africa. Some of the remnants of it. Uh, strong trade, strong winds of this type is happening. This type of this time of the year is typically push the Saharan dust across the Atlantic and towards the southern United States, and it causes a hazy sky but vibrant sunsets, pretty sunsets with that dust on. And we ask that you just get your sunglasses on. Be careful. Those of you with allergies, the air quality alert is a little up right now in Shelby, DeSoto, Crittenden counties in Tennessee, Crittenden, DeSoto in Mississippi. So you might see a little bit of haze in the air. Don't get alarmed. But we have some high temperatures that will be in the upper 90s, and into the afternoon, our heat index will hit about 105. And what to expect tonight is a slight chance of showers or thunderstorm as the weak cold front drives into the mid south. The most likely chance that we will be after midnight that we will probably get those chances of rain in the area. Wind will be down. We'll be winding down, and the wind will be coming out of the northeast. Rain chances will increase to about 20 to 30, but mostly we'll end up staying dry anyway here in the Mid South. There will be a heat advisory. It won't be as severe as yesterday, but please watch those. Your pets, and if you're going out with the little people, please don't leave them in the car. If they can't go in with you, please leave them with responsible persons. And also, like we said, your pets, be very careful about your pets. Make sure that they're hydrated, and make sure that they got, like I said, plenty of water and everything. Let's take care of our pets. But right now in Oxford, it is 78. 77 in Olive Branch, South Haven, and at WKRA in Holly Springs, Memphis, Shelby County area, it is 78. And today, there's some special birthdays that we like to acknowledge. Like to say once again hello to everyone that's in our viewing audience on YouTube. We like to welcome you, those of you that are in the chat. Good morning to everyone. But there's two special birthdays that are occurring. One was yesterday that I missed, and today one of my dear friend that I've known for a long time, uh, Brother Michael Thompson from Chicago. And those of you that can see his wonderful picture, he made 70 years old on today. Hey, Mike. Mike was a radio announcer for many religious institutions, mostly being the Fountain of Life Church. He was the radio announcer for many, many years there under the leadership of the late, great Marvin Yancey. Marvin Yancey was married to Natalie Cole, great singer and daughter of Nat King Cole. He pastored in Chicago for many, many years. And Michael, you're looking good. He's doing well. Happy birthday to you, brother, today. You deserve it. And to one of my colleagues in broadcasting on YouTube, Lady T-Bug had a birthday yesterday. And we wanted to celebrate her. She's a wonderful person. And Queen, we wanted to salute you on today. And we just wanted to say happy birthday. It was her birthday on yesterday. And if I had known earlier in advance, I would have done it then. But happy birthday to you. And it's just wonderful and nice to be nice. Once again, the kids are going to school. Y'all be nice on the bus stops. You see those lights on the bus. Please stop for the children and allow them to get on the bus and to proceed safely. Um, Sometimes we have a tendency to forget about the little people, and they're just trying to go to school, y'all. And we just need to make sure that that happens, and we keep them safe and sound. Listen, we have so I have a very important local story for the Memphis Shelby County area. Those of you that are going to work, you might see some police activity around Danny Thomas and I think that's Mississippi Boulevard, um, heading into the downtown area right off of G.E. Patterson Boulevard. A Memphis police officer was among two people who perished in a accident early this morning in the downtown area. The official says an interim Memphis Police Chief C.J. Davis called this deadly accident a catastrophe, and it is. We reach out to those that are in the MPD. There's so much happening with police officers. Just recently in the city of Chicago, Cook County Sheriff deputy that was off duty on his way home trying to get some gas at a gas station in Inglewood. Those of you that know that are my listeners in Chicago knows about Inglewood. He stopped and was accosted by a gentleman that just recently uh, got out of incarceration after 5 years, got five felony convictions, and just was trying to attack the officer. And tragically, he was unalived. We reach out and send our prayers and sincere condolences out to those families and to the Memphis Police Department. There will be active, it's a very big active scene. It's a big intersection heading into downtown Memphis. And for those of you that are coming out of off of I-55 going um, into um, into downtown, you will see an extra presence, and even around the the trauma center, the Memphis Trauma Center over there at the hospital district. There's a lot of activity that will be going on because of this tragic loss. This officer lost his life, and we're praying for that family. Also, hey, did you all see the Olympics? And that Simone Biles is something else, y'all. And I said to myself, I said, you know something, I couldn't jump, or I don't know anybody that can jump that high and land on their feet and things like that. There was such a controversy that people were talking about Simone, and she won several medals so far in the count. We like to say congratulations to all of our athletes that are over in Paris, France, and they're enjoying themselves. I know that it's kind of warm over there, and they were in the gondolas and going up the river and doing all those things. We just like to salute Team USA for going and showing up and showing out, doing what they do, and we're just salute them. And Simone has got, I think, about six medals, six gold medals or something like that. I don't know the exact medal count, but we're just proud of her, proud of the job that they're doing with the Olympics. And I'm going to check on the scores and the basketball scores to see uh, if there are any updates that will come along. Also, in our national news, listen, on last night, uh, hostages were released from Russia. And in a prisoner exchange with Russia, uh, three of these hostages were returned back to the United States safely, and we're grateful for that because they were held for such a long time, and with the negotiations of the of our president and his staff and administration, they have succeeded into bringing these folks home. Listen, it's rough over in another country, especially a communist country, and when they came back, they were welcomed back by the president and the vice president and the press corps. And the United States and Russia completed their biggest prisoner swap in post-Soviet history on Thursday, with Moscow releasing journalist Ivan Gervinovich, a fellow American, Paul Whelan, and along with Vladimir Karamarinsky. I got that right. I think I did. In a multinational deal that set 2 dozen people free. And there were others that were a part of that. The journalist, along with dual Russian U.S. citizenship, arrived on American soil shortly before midnight for a joyous reunion with their families, and also with the president and the vice president at Joint Base Andrews. And it was a huge crowd. They were glad to be back home. And kudos to the administration for working as hard as possible to bring those prisoners home. There has been some flare-ups, and there has been some controversies about the remaining. There's some remaining people that are in prison, and there's some questions that people have been asking. What about them? So we're continuing to root and to pray for those that are over in captivity over there in Russia, that are still there. I think the administration is still working on it. It's good news, folks. If it was your family members, if it were people that you were connected to, I'm sure you would be glad for them also. Be glad for somebody else. They're working on it the best as they can and the best way possible. And we believe that with proper diplomacy, they will be successful in what they're doing. And also, excuse me, also, I'd like to, I saw this report on yesterday that was sent to me from the Associated Press, from the press wires through Reuters news service. As of now, the Harris campaign has raised a record $310 million in the month of July. When July came out of there and they did all of their figuring and they saw what they the increase, they saw that it was small dollar donors, the 20s, the hundreds, the fives, small donors for the first time that flooded the war chest right after the president bowed out the race and said he was not going to run. And that's more than double the amount of the 138.7 million raised by the Republican opponent, Trump. And the Republicans, they raised about, like I said, about $138 million. But this $310 million is a record. It has never been done before. And it brings them so close to the total that they almost raised by the Harris Biden campaign combined is almost $1 billion. It's a lot of money in campaigns. It's a lot of money. And I hope that that money goes towards getting the vote out and helping other candidates, like the candidates in Mississippi. They need to bring some of it there, and don't forget about Mississippi. I always say, don't forget about Mississippi. Mississippi's always last. People always think that we supposed to get the crumbs off the table, but James Mack will be in Chicago at the DNC, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. We got some guests coming on. I have a guest that's going to come back on, and those of you that are in the chat, I'd like to say good morning to all of you. I said what I said to Sharon Reed, to Yvonne Moore, to also to our wonderful friend to Robin, and to all of you all that are in the chat, to Tony Joy Productions and Media. We want to thank Tony Joy Productions and Media for helping us with our graphics and helping us also with our potential clients that we will be featuring and the features that we're going to be featuring. If you need somebody to help you and to work with you in video and videography, she's the one to do, and you're going to hear more about her in the coming weeks about the things that she does. I'd just like to say good morning also to my mom, to the Dragon Riders of Marks, Mississippi, their motorcycle club, to Timmy Jamerson, their wonderful president, a dear friend of mine. I want to say good morning to them and all of our birthday folks and all the things, all the people that are celebrating anniversaries or whatever you might be celebrating. We just thank you for allowing us to share that with our audience. Today, as we review the coming events, the events that have happened during this week, there's been a lot going on, from campaign talk to the trip of Mr. Trump in Chicago, from the unalivement of Miss Massey, Sonia Massey, the things that are going on in our community. The news must be reported, and it is our duty to bring you information and inspiration, but we also like to continue to let you know what's going on around about us. It's okay to present the bad news, as people would say, but there's some great things and some good things that are happening in our community, and it's just a good thing for us to recognize and to see that we have an opportunity to bring it to you. What about this week? Let's talk about this weekend. Before we get into that, we're going to take a quick break, and I'll be right back with one of our guests. I will put in the chat of the YouTube chat the link that you can come in. I want some of you all to come in, say hello, give your opinions, or what you might like to discuss, or some of the things that we discussed this week. You're welcome to come. This is friendly territory. WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. We'll be back in just a little bit. This is the morning takeover with your man on the street, James Mack. We'll be back in a couple of just a 2 and 2, like they used to say.
Your daily fix. Tune in or you'll miss the ever-rolling mix. From the Capitol Hill to your neighborhood block, James Mack on the airwaves, always on the clock. He's the man on the street with every beat, delivering the truth, making your morning complete. and raw. Nah, notice me on the morning takeover. It's your daily fix. Tune in or you'll miss the ever rolling mix. From the Capitol Hill to your neighborhood block. James Mack on the airwaves, always on the clock. He's the man on the street with every beat. Delivering the truth.
And we're back on the morning takeover on 92.7 FM WKRA. I'm James Mack, your man on the street. And got in the chat on YouTube. And as we prepare to as we're under construction doing the things that we do, we just like to welcome everyone that's in the chat. Hey to everybody in the bushes too. I like to say good morning to our dear friend. I said what I said. Ain't seen you in a while. I see you, but you know you're there. But you've been kind of quiet. We want to say hello to you, to all of you that are here. We'd like to also say hello to our first time listeners. I haven't seen Brother Samajay Arnold uh, from Mo Noise Entertainment. Welcome, brother, to the morning takeover. All right, now that's all right. We welcome you, and we thank you for being a part of us on this morning. And it's just a wonderful opportunity to have you be with us on today. I also have with us our guest that's going to come on, our sister. Robin is here, and we're just so glad to have her here with us on this morning to share with us as we review the week's events. And we're just glad to be here, and we just have this great opportunity um, to come together and to just discuss the things that are going on. Let me put a bug in your ear. Those of you that are listening, wherever you may be in your homes, in your automobiles, places of business, there are a lot of people that inquire about the morning takeover and about advertising. And you can advertise on the morning takeover that you like what we do and you support our efforts here. We're going to be putting this up, putting up the email address. Those of you that cannot see it, I'll tell you what it is. Those of you that can see on our YouTube channel, you can see that you can contact the show through jmccray0307 at gmail.com. That's jmccray0307 at gmail.com. And we will steer you in the right direction and help you if you have a business or a service that you would like people to know and you want to use the morning takeover to put it out there. We'll be glad to do it, and we will be repeating that and showing that once again and letting you all know what you can do to support us. There are a lot of things that are going on, and we're under construction. It's coming together. We just got to sweep the floor and get the dust out the way, get the trash out the way, and move at this over here and set this up. So as we're under construction, I just want to thank everyone for being patient with us. This is week 9. Can you imagine that? 9 weeks, I think, that we have been on the air. I want to once again say to our wonderful staff at WKRA and our president and CEO, we want to thank you for giving us this opportunity to come each and every morning and to let everyone listen to the morning takeover. I am very grateful. I'm humbled by this experience. I thank everyone that have sent messages and texts. I'm really grateful to you for doing that. Now, this morning I was observing and going through some things, and I was looking at the national stories and even some of our local stories, and it just amazes me how dirty people can be and how mean people can be in politics and in life. Period. From the massy unalivement to the terrible appearance by the Republican candidate at the uh, National Association of Black Journalists, who I am a member of, and seeing how disrespectful uh, people can be. What do you think as an audience, as from what you see? And I want you to participate. I want to see what you got to say and hear what you have to say. I'm giving everyone an opportunity to do so. You can come in. It's our link is in the chat. I want to hear from you and know what you would like to say. But we have a guest that's very familiar with our show. Really grateful for her being here. She's come in at many times and given wonderful, wonderful commentary and having wonderful discussion. I have with us on this morning our dear friend and friend of this show. We got Robin. Say good morning to us, Sister Robin. How are you on this wonderful Friday?
Good morning, James. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. It's Friday, and okay, I think I got a little feedback in the back. If you got anything on, turn it off, and it's humming in our ears. And when
Okay,
you do
hold on
come
for
on,
just a
folks,
minute.
I want everyone to understand that in broadcasting, when you try to hear yourself, I know that you want to hear yourself. I want you to be able to hear yourself. Turn down your device so that there won't be a feedback and everyone will be able to hear you. In the chat in YouTube, you will see the link that that's there. And as Robin adjust her device. I think she has done it. Yeah, she's done it, and she's back with us. We want to hear everybody clear. So, Robin, I want to just ask this question: with everything that's going on, I'm gonna pick out some things, and hopefully, you can help us to see what's probably understand a little bit from. I want to start with this $300 million that the vice president, since she has been declared the nominee for the party. $300 million from small donors and from people that just put their little dollars and cents together to give. How impactful would this be with all of this money, and what you think that they should do with it now that they have it?
Well, they have many campaign sites that they must invest in to pay those people to go knock from door to door. So that's where that money goes into. Also, the money goes in, well, the additional money after the campaign. Let's just say the president has been, decided. That additional money, from what I am to understand, are put into programs.
Oh, okay. And the door to door and to help other candidates. I think that they're almost at their goal. If they haven't reached it, they're almost from what they've raised. They're almost at $1 billion. Do you think that there's a lot of that there's too much money, too much private money that's involved, or the big shots saying that they're? I heard that they're going to be giving to certain candidate. They're the billionaires are getting together trying to prop him up. What do and this dark money that they talk about. Do you think that there's too much money involved in campaigns nowadays? Okay, I think okay. Robin, you there? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Repeat what you said because I think you have a problem with something. Go ahead. Go ahead,
Okay. I said there
Robin.
are millions of dollars in campaigning. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
Okay. There are millions of dollars that are put into campaigns. So no, the money is quite useful um, when we're attacking our opponent. We need every dollar. I gave my $3.
Did you? You just gave $3. You just gave $3. That's well. That's
I
well.
got
You know,
that's
you
it.
all
That's
them
all I got.
apparently $3. These $3 and $4 and 5 and 10s have helped out for them to have such a war chest that it's just amazing to me the type of money that's involved. And like you were saying, um, there's there's things that can be done to help to get the word out for people to get out to vote to help other candidates. I hope that they will, and especially in this region that our station is located at, there are several candidates that there are a couple of candidates that do need some assistance, probably one more than the other.
Mhm.
And as I said before, I reached out to both parties to get their opinions about things that are going on in everyday life. And we only received one this past week and the past week, and I've been notified by another. We'll talk about them next week if we get once we get an opportunity to. But I never seen this kind of money before that has been coming in. I mean, 301. Well, say in the last 10 days, as they say, $310 million. That's a lot of money.
That's
You can do a whole. Ooh, that's like lotto money, ain't it?
200 million in 36 hours.
Three. Yeah, yeah, in 36 hours, 200 million. God, that's
Yep.
ooh,
She
phew.
was at 200
Mm,
million in 36 hours. So what does that
that
tell you?
that tells you that somebody got a little change. You know, that's what they
Absolutely. And we want change. We want real
Yes,
change. We want a breath of
change
fresh
for
air.
change. We need change for change. That's nice. That's a little
Yep.
good slogan. We ought to incorporate that. Listen, I'm still disturbed by the unalivement of Sonia Massey, um and my heart would just went out to the sheriff of that particular county that that deputy was
Absolutely.
a part of, and it was just sad to see her son and her relatives really go through the things that they went through with so many things that are going on. And just like we were reporting this morning about the incident, we don't know the circumstances of the crash, but officers on duty and off are losing their lives there. And then there's some officers like the sheriff's deputy that just blatantly unalive this person, coming supposedly coming to that person's aid. It's just, it's heartbreaking. Do you have any thoughts about the Sonia Massey situation? I want to hear from you from a woman's perspective. You called the police to get help, and this situation happened. What are your feelings about that?
Well, first of all, I'm not a huge fan of law enforcement, but I do feel like the chief made a very good call. He took accountability, said that they got it wrong, said, acknowledged to the family, I apologize. And they want him to step down. This is what I want them to do. Go argue with the three previous chief of police that skated him through the department. No one notified this chief that he had all of these discretions against him. If someone had put it in the system, he would have never been hired. But that's what I call protecting the blue.
Yeah, I mean it was, and then he was trying to get his story together
Yes.
and giving false information and telling them that one thing happened and it did not happen, or that because Miss Massey
When he
had
walked
water
in,
on the stove.
when
Go
he
ahead.
walked
What you
in,
say?
he said, "Where's the gun?"
Yes.
He said, "There's no gun." She said, "You shot her?"
Wow.
Yeah, I shot. She threatened me with a pot
Yeah.
of water. She said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus."
She said that, but then when the water was in the sink, and she was pouring the water in the sink and had the pot up to when he pulled his weapon. She was blocked. I mean, I'm blocking my face. And he said, I'll unalive you right here. I'll do it. I'll do it. And she was
Yeah.
rebuking him because he said something, even though reports, there were some reports that she had some problems. It didn't seem that she called because she needed some assistance. And I don't know. I'm not saying I have people in law
And
enforcement that I know, and even in my family. And
see, because
um,
Edward Charles could see that she had a mental problem. When
yeah.
the officer stood right in front of her and she said, "I'm calling, hold on, I'm calling someone to help me." That right there
Wow.
didn't tell you she had a mental problem. He was
With
aware.
help at her house. Yeah, with help at her house. I mean, it's just disturbing to me. Do you? I mean,
And
I mean the training that you think that. Go ahead, Robin.
I was going
I'm
to say,
sorry. I
and
didn't.
her mom called in. Her mother
Mm,
called in, James, asked them
yes.
to go check on her, but also asked them to not send a prejudiced police officer to the home.
Well, she said not to send a prejudiced police officer.
To the home.
Wow.
She did.
Isn't that something that in this day and time we have to worry about the prejudice and the bias of people that are
Oh,
in law
that,
enforcement? I mean, wow, I mean, it's heartbreaking. It is really just heartbreaking. And I mean, my heart goes out to those first responders that have to go out and service the people. But when you got a bias like that and you handle a situation like that, even if there was some water, I mean, she was at the sink. Okay, pouring the water in the sink. There was no danger. Oh, she threw the water in the water. I felt it come over this way and everything. I didn't see anybody toss anything, or did she? She didn't toss the pot at
no,
the officer. And he
not at
pulled
all.
his weapon, and just it was just to look at that video just made me cringe. It literally made me cringe because I just said that it was just. Oh, it just brought me to tears. We're still praying for and sending our condolences to that family because it's just so much. Uh, After the investigation is completed, I'm pretty sure that we're going to know and see what really has been going on, and it just boggles the mind to see what's happening. Listen, do you know when in your town? I know that you're from the Illinois area. I'm not going to tell where you live or nothing like that, but I
It's
wouldn't dare
okay.
do
I'm a shy town girl. I'm a shy town girl.
that.
Shy
Okay,
town.
shout out to Shat Town. Hey, y'all. And everybody everywhere. I was having a discussion with one of our faithful listeners and friends of our show. I said what I said. And we had a conversation on something on this subject around about not a whole conversation about the things that were said by the Republican nominee um, uh, when he came to your town and he came to my organization that I'm a part of and
And
said
told
all
me
these
this
horrible
president.
things. Yeah, and I wanted to say that you know, the part that really still disturbs me is he hollered and said, she became black. When did she become black? She was Indian and then she became black. And it just bothers me like, man, what are you talking about? This lady has her father is Jamaican, her mother is from Asia, from India, but she's an American citizen, and they're talking about what's on her birth certificate. Is she qualified? Now, this lady has been the attorney general, a prosecutor, the attorney general of the state of California. Hey to all my friends over there in San Bernardino. Um, and not just that, became United States Senator, the second woman ever elected to the Senate. of African American descent. Um, and he had the nerve to get up on stage in front of all of my brothers and sisters. Hey, to all of the members and the local members of the region that I belong to now, a little bit. I salute you all. I know it was difficult. Some of them didn't return my phone calls, and one person did return my phone calls and was just hollering and saying all kinds of things that we can't say on the air about that visit that he had. He said I shouldn't have went, but they said that the vice president is not black. Well, for those of you all that are looking on the YouTube screen, I have a picture of, and I know that y'all can see, of the vice president's grandmother and a young Kamala Harris, and then they get her name wrong. Some they call her Carmela,
Come on.
all kinds of. Yeah, that it's Carmela. Carmela. Will somebody give them folks a lesson in grammar? Her name is Kamala Harris, and that's her grandmother. Looks just like me, looks just like my grandmother, and a young Kamala Harris visiting visiting her grandmother in Jamaica, and she looks just like us. So I think she's been identified as uh, who she is, and she's a wonderful sister, and always identified as being black. What do you say about this? What do you say about this man that came over into your hood, came to your town on your strip, saying all this foolishness and craziness? And it is foolishness and craziness when you degrade and use racial overtones and dog whistles. What do you have to
I
say about
say
that?
I say that I agree with what I said stated. He came to show his base that he had black people in control. That was his motive. But what he did was he shot himself in the foot. Yeah, there will be a small percentage of us that will still vote for him, but we will not give him that 15 undecided African American percent. We will not give him the entire 15%.
You think that people
Well,
still, and from the hood, is gonna vote
absolutely.
for him? People that in the African American
Absolutely.
community.
Yes. Again, we talked about economics earlier in the week. African Americans feel as though they did better when Trump was in office. So I did a little research to understand where the average African American is coming from. What they don't understand is that not Biden, Obama's economics program lasted 10 years. So when Donald Trump walked into office, he walked into a gift. Unfortunately, the pandemic took the gift from him, and he wants to claim that we were doing much better under his reign. No, we were not. Go to the Wall Street Journal, and when I find it again while you're talking, I'll put the link right there in the comment. Educate yourself. That's why I say research. Research. And let me add
Yeah.
insult to injury. Did you see your candidate, your vice president candidate, turn around and try to give the orange face credit for the hostages being released by saying
Yeah.
that 7 presidents of 7 different states were afraid of orange face? And that is the reason
Wow.
why 24 hostages were released. Is he crazy?
Wow. But he said also that when and let's check this out now. He was on an interview, or he gave a video post, and he said that those hostages will be released before the election. I mean, after he's elected and before he takes office. And it came back, and it was like mud in his face when the our president that we have now and his administration and all of those that work in foreign policy were working behind the scenes when they had the basketball player, Griner, the WNBA player that was over there. People were
Yeah.
hollering about that he got her out of there and other people. And then when he had there almost a half dozen hostages released, and all of the things that were going on behind the scene made him look really funny. What did they do? Did they give him some money? Did they do this? We want to know the details. There are details that you will not know in foreign policy and foreign relations and in negotiations that the government cannot reveal and cannot tell about what's going on. And he wanted to know. I mean, but he was so smart and saying that he was, oh, all I got to do is call Putin on the phone and he'll do what I tell him. And the president, in his remarks at his press conference announcing the hostages being released, said, one reporter says, uh, what do you think about the and called him president? He's the former. Yes, we gotta give him credit. Yeah, he was the former leader. What does he have to say? He should have. And the president Biden says he should have did it when he was president. He had a whole lot to say now, but when he was in office, he was making deals and trying to get hostages and doing several things. And he's trying to make the administrations look bad. See, it makes him look bad when he gets out there and puts literally his foot in his mouth, and
Right.
it's just a terrible thing. Even though, I mean, how would you to cozy up to the dictator and everything? And like one of our loyal and faithful listeners, Yvonne Moore says, yeah, he said that the Russians were clearing house prior to Trump's presidency. And I don't know what kind of house cleaning he was doing or
I don't know
whatever
what
or
kind of
whatever.
broom he's using. I don't know. I'm not sure what
Yeah.
broom he's using, but I've never used that broom. Clean what
Well,
house?
he has a problem on his hand, and the world leaders that he was talking to behind the scenes were saying that negotiation must have went well because they were looking to free the dissident, the person that was a opposition leader in Russia. That was part of the first deal, but because he was unalived somehow over there, the deal was coming apart because the different nations, Germany, who had a prisoner over there from Russia who was allegedly, and this is allegedly, one of Mr. Putin's bodyguards, and he wanted his bodyguard back. And this was a bargaining chip that they could use to get the journalists and the other people that were working over there that so happened to be accused falsely and given these horrendous sentences. They gave Brittany uh, Griner, they gave her what, 12 years hard labor in the labor camp. I mean, they ain't playing over there. Y'all stay away from overseas for a minute and be careful how you travel. As as I as I as one of our listeners was saying, be careful about where you put your passport because
Exactly.
you don't know what could happen, and it's just really sad to see. And like I said, what I said, our friend was saying, and made a valid point. Um, this morning, and I know that she's over in the chat. She could come over and say hello to us. It is
She
Friday. I
could.
said what I
She could
said.
come on the panel. She's saying
She be
everything
over
I
there.
want to
She halfway in the bushes. She over there. She got a. She's sticking
say.
out,
She peeks
laughing
up
and
in the
smiling
bushes.
at us. We see you over there. But she
See
said
you right
all the
here.
money. Yes, she said this. She said all the money that was given out is repaid by the high inflation and the price gouging we are experiencing now. So nothing was really given to anyone, which is a valid point. I mean,
Absolutely.
even, even though
Absolutely.
I mean, and she's on it today, and and my thing is, yes, there are things going on. Inflation is up, and uh, prices are skyrocketing. But all in all, we got to take our hats off to the to our leader of that sits in the chair of the presidency now, who in his heart had enough in his heart to say, "Hey, I'm going to step away and allow the vice president, who had a big role and a big part in the negotiations. It said that she was going to different leaders around the world trying to get America in a position to get these people out of harm's way, to get them back to the United States. And I just commend the administration for what they do. They don't get enough credit with this guy. He ain't gonna give anybody credit for anything because he says, just like he said that C-19 was gonna magically disappear. He's gonna wave a wand and tell us to drink and chew bleach and all those other things. I'm really dissatisfied with what I see and what I hear from that camp, and people are going along with this. People were there was some horse tranquilizers or antibiotics for animals and hogs and things that people were in this region going to the feed stores to get, and it's dangerous what was going on instead of letting the medical professionals take care of it. Isn't that amazing?
Yes. Well, let's talk about inflation. I just pulled up some information so far.
Okay.
In June of 2022, inflation was at 9%. Currently, as of June 2024, we are down 3%. So I
Yeah.
think the Biden Harris administration has done a wonderful job. Now let's talk about
Yeah.
price gouging. It is
Yeah.
the stores. They're price
Hmm.
gouging. They know that America is under the inclusion of illusion that the price, because inflation is so high, that we've got to
The
raise these
inclusion
prices
of,
so
you
high.
said
You
inclusion.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Okay. Okay. If that's what you mean, that's right. Well, look, wait, hold on, hold that thought 1 second, Robin. We're going to come back in a couple seconds. We're going to take our last break of the morning, and we're going to. I said what I said, heard what we said, and she's come out of the
Coming on the
bushes,
show?
and she coming.
Yay!
Yeah,
Come
she's
on
coming in.
the show.
We're going to have her in a little bit. We're going to take a real quick break. You're listening to 92.7 WKRA FM. And this is the morning takeover with James Mack, your man on the street. We got our wonderful panel here and our wonderful people that come on our show, faithful listeners, faithful uh, participants in our show. We'll be right back in a quick second. And this is the morning takeover. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
And the community updates on the morning takeover. Stream live, stay awake. Like and subscribe. He got the content all the time. Share with your crew. Live on YouTube. Don't be shy. He's got the facts straight. Never leaves you wrong. James Mack, breaking news before the final call. From city lights to the small towns beat, bringing stories real and raw. No defeat on the morning takeover. It's your daily fix. Tune in or you'll miss the ever rolling mix. From the Capitol Hill to your neighborhood block. James Mack on the airwaves, always on the clock. He's the man on the street with every beat, delivering the truth, making your morning complete. Got interviews inside from coast to coast.
We're back on the morning takeover. I'm James Mack, your host, your man on the street. And I would like to say to our audience and those that are listening around the country and that are here, we want to be able to bring you the finest inspiration and information. And in order to do that, it takes quite a bit of work to do. And why don't you think about subscribing or being a part of our morning takeover family team, and also think about supporting your host. We're getting ready to go to Chicago to the DNC, and there is the productions is going into effect. We're doing our last minute preparations for that. And I would love for you to, so you can support us, help us to do what we're going to do. We're going to be broadcasting live from the DNC in Chicago and in the United Center, the house that Michael built. I'm going over there. I might not be playing basketball, but I'm going to be running around there trying to find out who I could talk to and get the answers that are needed, that we do need, and that we might want to hear from some of our national and international leaders. It's just real simple for you to do. You can subscribe, or you can directly help us by supporting your host. There is some information on our screen. Those of you that are in the bushes, since you're in the bushes today, you can support us. We do have a cash app there, and your twos and proves will help. You can buy me a sandwich or two. You might be nice. They will buy them a cup of coffee or something like that. If that's what you want to do, it is an expense. We're going to bring you the finest broadcasting, and as we continue to go forth in our broadcast and what we do here at WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. Make this your advertising spot. Advertise on the Man on the Street broadcast, and you can also broadcast and you can also support the station overall. Let us know, and we will get and direct you to the proper channels so that you can do so. All you have to do is just go to that email address, jmccray0307 at gmail.com. That is jmccray0307 at gmail.com. I promise you, I will direct you in the right spot. This is good soil to plant on, and this is a wonderful opportunity that you can help us to continue to do the things that we do. I appreciate all of you. I'd like to give a shout out once again to Tony Joy Productions and Media, who has really been a great big support here to the Morning Takeover show, contributes so much and works so hard to help us to bring to you the finest to help bring the finest that we can bring. We're under construction. We will soon be complete doing what we're doing. We're in talks now with several people to do sponsorships. If you have a business, a service, or if there's something, an event or something special that's going on and you would like people to know about, don't forget, just email us and we will give you further instructions. jmccray0307 at gmail.com. My goodness, look at who we have in our studio and on our live line this morning. I said what I said. Where you been? You been in the bushes, hiding, don't want us to see you, not see you or hear you. Say good morning to us. Where you been?
Well, I've been under the weather, James, and
Oh, okay, okay. I can't make it.
I really haven't had a voice. But good
Oh,
morning, everybody. So I'll be
Yes,
up here
okay.
briefly, and
yeah.
yeah. So
Uh,
it's not like I've been
yeah.
trying to hide or anything. I haven't been able to speak. Today is the first time I've actually able to hear my voice this week. I
Well,
guess
I'm
Well,
I've
just
had
listen,
too.
oh, well, everybody in the chat, y'all wish her well and wish I said what I said. Well, she works hard here with us and contributes a whole lot and keep me in line. She says some things and I can't mention on the radio, but it's just nice to be nice and it's good to be friends. And I want to just say to you, I hope you're feeling better. And it's just good to have. But I know you got something to say now that you got your voice back. Now, we were talking and discussing some things that have been occurring this past week and just doing the weekend review. I want to know what really struck a chord with you. I said what I said. I got Robin here also, and she's given some of her commentary. I'd like to hear what do you think about what's been going on? We ain't heard from you, so we know that you got something to say. Tell us about what your feelings is about all the stuff that's going on in our land today.
Well, like you said, the Sonia Massey story is really a tragic story. And if Congress go ahead and approve this George Floyd Act, this would have never happened because they have social workers in that package, in that legislation that they're trying to get approved. So, and they also want to train the cops so that they won't have these type of episodes. They can recognize mental illness, and it's not so much that you have to have that the cops won't come out, but they will have a social worker on site with them, or a psychologist, or somebody that can recognize mental illness and help diffuse some of the situations. These cops are just too hot headed. Some of them are prejudiced. Some of them have mental issues. And just because they're a cop doesn't mean that they don't have mental issues like everyone else. And so I just think the police forces need to implement some type of additional training so that these cops can recognize when someone is in trouble. And not everybody is a criminal when you go out on a call. All calls are not about arresting somebody or trying to shoot at somebody. A lot of the calls are just regular. Sometimes they're just about people arguing with each other, and so they have to be able to diffuse situations and understand the situation instead of just being on 100 and ready to take somebody out like they've been doing. um,
Yeah.
Also, as far as Kamala raising all this morning, her sorority sisters raised 1.3 million dollars,
Come
and
on
then
now.
Wow.
they
Yeah.
had
A
black
lot of
men. Yeah, and then the black men raised $2 million. Now they have a group of white women that raised. I think they raised like $100 million, and don't quote me on that one because I didn't really, feel like doing the research. I just heard it on the news.
right.
But you have different organizations that's coming together. It's a big wide
Yeah.
coalition. It's not just black people. It's everybody that want democracy against this dictatorship that Trump and his crew is trying to push on everybody. And a lot of the
Mm.
Republicans are coming to our side because they don't want a dictatorship because they do understand. Uh, oh man, I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
Sorry
Okay.
to
Wait a
call me
minute.
twice.
All right. Okay. See, you got fans everywhere. People calling her and all these things, and you telling people that you on the morning. You tell them you're on the morning takeover. Yes, sir. And
Well,
somebody
they
has their devices on. Turn your device down, please.
no, it's probably mine because I got the call. So I'm gonna come back
Okay.
up.
Okay. Okay. We want you to come on back
I'll
up.
come back.
Robin. Wait a minute. Hold on. I can stand by. All right. The miracle of radio is that it's a wonderful medium, but you can't listen to yourself and talk too because you get uh, that tremendous feedback. She'll be back with us in a couple seconds. We're just giving her time to adjust herself. But Robin, piggyback off of what I said. What I said was talking about the different groups that were raising funds. I know we were talking about it, but had you heard about that?
Yes. Did you hear about the 150,000 men that were on Twitter that got kicked off of Twitter? They were
Wow.
supporting Kamala Harris. They gave, I want to say, about $5 million. And
Wow.
Elon
That's a lot of
Musk
money.
is one of the infamous ones who says that he does not want uh, our voices censored, but yet you snatch their account away because there were 150,000 men, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, giving and talking
Yeah.
about change and talking
Yeah.
about exactly what they want as far as change
Well,
is
we got.
concerned.
Well, we got. I said what I said. She's back. Come on back in. I see you're there. She's
Okay.
here. Are you there?
Yeah, yeah, James, I'm here.
Okay,
Sorry
that's much
about
better.
that.
Okay. Okay. Finish
Quiet
your.
all week. So,
Okay.
yeah,
All
I've
right.
been
You
kind
go
of
ahead.
quiet all week, so my family's checking on me because they understand
Oh,
once I get quiet, something is going on. And so,
okay.
yeah, because they know
Well,
I'm kind of a
tell
soldier.
them.
I don't cry about what's going on with me. But anyway, I
Well,
was
tell them
basically
you
saying,
out the bushes. You out the bushes. Tell them that they see you out the bushes. Go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead with your thought. Okay. Go ahead.
But what I was saying is this big coalition that's behind Kamala right now, and Trump can't stand
Yeah.
that, and he understands that he's in trouble. And he's trying to steal ever since she came on the scene, she stole the shine from him, and he can't take that. And
Yeah.
also, he knows that he's in trouble. He knows nobody is really um, trying to vote for him because now he's the oldest nominee in history because Joe Biden got out the race, and him and his team are upset because they spent all their effort and time and money trying to break Joe Biden down because they just knew that they were going to win the election. If Joe Biden would have been the candidate, and so now they don't know what to do. They're scrambling to try to figure out how to frame Kamala, and they can't do it.
And he's
And
Yeah.
whining and
Yeah.
complaining.
Whining and
yeah,
complaining.
being a big
Yeah.
baby,
But you know.
and also
Yeah.
too, let me just make this last point.
Yes. Yes.
He told his voters, good Christian voters, just vote for me this one time, and you don't ever have to worry about voting again. And I think that was a huge mistake that he made when he made that
Yes.
statement, because that raised
Yes.
everybody eyebrows when he stated that.
Wasn't a mistake at
Wow.
all. He meant that. He meant that. Look at Project 2025. Look at the immunity he's been given. He meant that.
He
Vote
meant
for
it,
me
but he
this
always say
time.
that. But that's supposed to be in the quiet part. He don't know how to be quiet. He says the quiet part out loud, just like
He said
Project
all things.
2025 is supposed to be in a secret. But they're so excited about it, they couldn't contain themselves and they couldn't help themselves. Just like he showed his racism on stage with the black women. And I told you
Yep.
guys, it was I said that he shouldn't have went, but I'm glad he went because it just showed everybody who he really is.
Oh, he
And
really is. Yes.
and he's always, he always got a word for the women. He's always trying to condemn women. He don't ever say anything to men, but when it comes to women, oh yeah, he loves to attack women.
What? How do you think that? How did you feel when he insulted not just the vice president, but my broadcast sister from ABC News? He was talking down to her and everything. I know y'all was hot about that, and we ain't gonna drag on him too much. But I want to know, what did y'all feel when you were watching this? I know you were looking. I said, and Robin and everybody else that's in the chat that saw and heard and even reviewed what was going on. How do you feel about this guy? You made the point that he talking down and looking funny and everything. So he couldn't been up there with me because I'd have had words to say, or anybody like that. You ain't gonna insult me. But give me your feelings about how he's been doing the sister.
He's not just doing the sisters like that. He's done all women like that. Remember, he talked about Megan Kelly. He talked about Mika Brzezinski, that's on MSNBC. He talked about the lady that he was accused of raping. He's talked about women. He's talked about plenty of women. Eugene Carroll. It's not just her. What he was doing was he was deflecting because he's dumb and uneducated, and he doesn't have any answers. He doesn't. I told you he goes by a script, and really it's his 2016 script, and now he's doing it 2.0 and just doubling down on it. He doesn't have any answers. So if you don't have answers, then you start deflecting, just like he was telling her, define DEI, define DEI. She said, diversity, education and inclusion, equity and inclusion. Well, what's the definition? She said, I just literally gave you the definition. And when she asked him, are you going to tell your Republican friends to stop talking about that she's a DEI candidate? And he never answered the question.
Yes,
And
he said. He
so,
said,
Wow.
I don't know. He said, I don't know.
He said, I
That
don't
was
know. I don't know.
he
Yeah.
said, I don't know. Once she was Indian, now she's black.
Yeah. And so he just, he want to
Well,
double down on what he
what did
want.
you
He,
think about?
he
Okay,
has those talking
we
points.
now we were talking a couple of seconds ago. I don't mean to cut you off, but we were talking a couple of seconds ago, and for him to say that all of a sudden she turned Indian, and we I'm putting back up on the screen for the viewers in YouTube to see that this lady looks just like my grandmother, got the color of her and got color of me. I think I'm a little bit darker or what have you, but saying that she all of a sudden decided to be a black. Well, I mean, what kind of foolishness is this man talking about, ladies?
Well,
Very double.
she could be any color she want to be. If she want to be black today, she can, and if she want to be Indian tomorrow, she can. Cause guess what? She's both of them. How about that?
Come on.
But
Come on
JD
now.
Vance's wife is Indian. JD Vance's wife is of Indian descent.
Well,
And he had the nerve to go there.
let's talk
Go
about
ahead and
him,
say
Jay.
what you.
His father is
Okay.
German. His mother is
Yeah.
Scottish. But in his book, what is that book? The Art of the Deal, he claims Scottish. So who is he?
That part. Well, I'm gonna tell you who he is. Um,
Wow. Tell us.
I'm
Tell
gonna
us
tell.
who he
I'm gonna
is.
tell you. He
Look,
this is
tell us
who
who
he
he is. Come on.
this is who he is. His own nephew, son, needed medical help. Him and his aunties stole all of their inheritance. Mary Trump and her brother, they stole all of their inheritance.
Yeah.
He asked him. They asked them to give more money for his nephew for the Mary Trump's nephew because the boy have seizures. He's almost passed twice, and Trump told him to just go ahead and let him go, and then just move to Florida, as if the kid didn't matter. So that's who he is. He's a monster. He's a deranged, crazed, narcissistic sociopath. To me, that's who he is.
Ooh, that's a lot. See, you had a lot to
That's
say this morning. Voice is back and everything. Ain't her voice back, y'all? Let's check her
right.
out. I see what because I mean, he really just, I mean, he made I don't know who told him to do what he done or said what he said. See, I don't mean to put your name with it like that though, but that's kind of, I don't understand it to say. We got a few remaining minutes, and I'd like to give you ladies an opportunity to kind of like give some take a 30 seconds or so and just give your feelings about whatever you like to give your feelings about this week's events that you might not have gotten a chance to say. Come on, I said, we're going to let you go first.
Well, this is what I want to say. I want
What you want
everybody
to say?
to I want to make sure everybody keep checking your voters registration and make sure they haven't taken you off of the rolls, because that's what they're doing in a lot of states, especially my state here in Texas. Whether you voted last week or not, they still trying to kick people off the voter registration rolls. So make a plan to vote, take somebody else with you, and make sure your voter registration is up to par, because it's not over with yet. Let's not get discouraged, and we can beat this as a collective. We all can beat this fascism dictatorship crap that they're trying to pull on us. And don't let any other side noise distract you, and don't get discouraged.
Okay. Robin, your partner was on here today. Come out the bushes. No, she wasn't really in the bushes. She was ill, y'all.
Yeah.
And but we got some Father John and some hot toddy or something to help her out so she can keep her voice. We,
Guys, don't
we
put our
care
age
about.
out there like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You didn't go to
I
high
said Father
school.
John. Oh, okay.
So
Okay, come
Father,
on, Robin. It's your turn. This your turn. Your turn. Talk
last
about
little
me.
30 seconds. Last little 30 seconds. I want to give a shout out to our president. He dropped the bomb yesterday when the reporter came in and asked, former President Trump said that he could get this done in a phone call. His response was, why didn't he? And he walked off the
That's
stage.
true.
That is a drop the mic moment.
He dropped the mic that time. He dropped the mic that time. Listen, I don't know. It gets good. And you see, I said what I said, came back, and Robin's here. Our one of our other listeners was trying to get through, but had some technical difficulties. But I want to just remind you all that on next week we're looking to have some officials from the different parties, and also we're going to have a Democratic nominee for Congress of the United States coming out of the state of Mississippi, Diane Black. We're trying to get her scheduled to come in, and we got a whole lot of other people. I said what I said, Robin, Mr. Lee, and anybody else that's going to be coming on. We're going to have our listeners come on and be a part of this show. I get excited every morning because I know that we're going to be giving you great information and inspiration. Listen, you're listening to the Morning Takeover. You have a wonderful day. Listen, be good to somebody. It doesn't cost you anything to love, okay? Reach out and love somebody. Be good to somebody and be kind. We'll be back here on next week, Monday. We're going to get the show together, and we're going to have a wonderful show like we have all the time. Once again, my guest was I Said What I Said. You get you some rest. And Robin, we want to thank you also from the Shy. And for all of you all that were in the chat, don't forget to support the Morning Takeover. We're getting ready to go to Chicago. We're preparing our production, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that on next week of the complete plans. I'm James Mack, your man on the street. It's been a pleasure. Ladies, it's been a pleasure. Everybody, it has been a pleasure. Be good. Like I said to each other, y'all be good to each other. Be nice. And we're going to get some Father John over there to I Said What I Said, our dear friend. Okay, we gone, y'all. This is the Morning Takeover on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. We'll holler at you on Monday morning.
Morning complete. Got interviews inside from coast to coast. A voice you can trust. He'll never fold. James Mack on the wave every morning, every day. Got the 92.7. Tune in, don't delay. Political news and the commute update. Updates on the Morning Takeover.